high time frame structure this week. So when it comes to the high time frame, I use a mix of quarterly theory and the PD array by ICT. The whole idea about this is like gold batches theory, which is how the market works in extensions and retests. I use it very, very simply on the 1 hour to determine whether or not we're in a continuation or a reversal stage. Coming from this range here, this was our range for the whole week, obviously. A lot of the time it won't be for the whole week. However, this week and last week Friday, but this week more especially was a lot more internal trades and a lot more ranging than we like, obviously. But either way, still valid because we know how to trade internal. It's the same exact structure. But once you kind of understand building a narrative between the 1 hour and the 15 minute for myself personally, then you understand how to trade internal in that scale. So this range here, it only became our range because we saw a previous range get disrespected. So for example, this range here, this was our swing low to our swing high. This is our swing low because it swept this liquidity, includes imbalance and broke major structure, which is also our previous swing high. So this swing low to our swing high, we were looking for sales down to a level down here, which we managed to catch. However, we were looking to buy on a 15-minute point of interest below our 50%, so in our discount area. We're looking for a 15-minute point of interest to buy from. What we can clearly see now is that our swing low in this range got completely disrespected. So we understand we've now flipped bearish for a intraday bias. 1 hour is absolutely perfect for that because it kind of caters around what moves we can catch in a day, whereas a lot of people that use 4 hour, daily, weekly, whatever, I don't feel necessary because obviously if you're just trying to catch a move within a day, that's completely fine. Obviously top-down analysis from all time frames can be useful to a sense if you want a weekly target and so forth, but I just don't feel like that's necessary if I can hop on the 1 hour in the morning for 5 minutes and understand what I'm doing. So what we've seen is our PLB get taken out, so we're looking for a 15-minute point of interest above the 50%. Obviously there's no point in me showing that because it got disrespected anyway. However, we were looking for a trade within a 15-minute point of interest here. We've seen those levels get disrespected, followed by mitigation of our protected high. So our mitigation of protected high is above this liquidity here. So we know that once this got mitigated here, this becomes our new protected high. It's a internal protected high, but in a sense it replaces our old protected high, and then that is now deleted, and that's our new protected high here. We've seen this protected high once again get mitigated again, so this becomes our new protected high. When it comes to entries itself, I'm not going to cover that because I did that for my students literally just before this call. But yeah, so this becomes our new protected high where we managed to get our entries. It's all on my TikTok as well. If you want to see the entries, I recommend looking at them, kind of looking back at my past trades as well, and kind of studying the characteristics and the little reasons why. And so obviously, say like you see some form of liquidity build up there. Is it similar to other trades that I've taken and stuff like that? And then you can kind of, this is for the free students obviously, then you can kind of build up some sort of an idea of what my confluences are for my entries. But yeah, so this is our protected high here. Because of our new range getting taken here, what this mitigation shows here as well is that we're failing to take out the protected high, our old protected high. And if we're failing to take out our old protected high and it's currently respecting it, then we understand that we're going to go lower. This was my target originally for our other trades throughout the week. Obviously, I was on holiday, so I did not catch any of these. However, I called literally every single one of them out. So yeah, that was my first target, as I knew that realistically on an intraday scale, if I was going to target straight down to this level here, then I knew it was going to take a day or two. It was going to end up being a swing trade. And obviously, I don't like swing trades myself. So this was my current intraday target until that got mitigated and we've seen a retest afterwards. Then I'll be targeting this level here. So we've seen our previous high here mitigated. Okay, cool. This becomes our protected high. Same thing happens again. New protected high. Same thing happens again. This is our new protected high. And it has a bunch of internal mitigations here. So then this becomes our protected high here. Knowing this became our protected high, and knowing as well for this buy here that we needed to retest to a discount level. We can use a Fibonacci again, or for internal trades I use this Garn box that's been edited. We still need to use our PD array in a way to understand our internal range. Obviously, like I said, we're taking sales down from a 50-minute point of interest above here. So this is our premium, this is our discount. We're looking for sales from above this 50% here. Even if it's internal or external, the PD array works every single time. So you could have taken a buy from here because the quarterly theory obviously could have swept the Q1 low. This is the one I called out, I believe. Yeah, that if you look back on my TikTok, and also called it out in chat a few days ago as well, I said that this level here was exactly where it's reversing from. Obviously, it's done exactly that. In a quarterly sense, we know that this is the case because little bit of source for you guys. It works in AMDX or XAMD. There's multiple different cycles to the quarterly theory. However, in this sense here, it was the AMDX cycle. However, it was a long form of accumulation before the distribution. So all of this is our accumulation here. However, it still followed the simple rules of the AMDX as well, as the Q1 still got swept. So as long as the Q1 gets swept, it does not really matter what quarter the setup is presented, as long as it lines up with our PD array and our point of interests. If the Q1 is swept, we know that the buy is coming soon. So the Q1 low got swept, so we know we're looking for buys either way. If the high of the Q1 got swept, we're looking for sells. Very, very simple, very, very, very consistent. So I would recommend writing that down if you don't know. So once again, for you guys as well, if the low of Q1 gets swept, then we know it's going to be buys. If the high of Q1 is swept, then we know we're looking for sells. So obviously we know here that we're looking for internal buys because we know we're about to continue bearish. I called out this move here to the true day open. The true day open was this level right here. Obviously, we've seen that get smacked before, seeing some sort of very, very heavy resistance here. Obviously, it played around for ages first until the next day. However, this level was very, very valid for sales. So yeah, on a internal sense, we knew that this was going to be a internal buy because we know the next level we're taking out is going to be this level here. So knowing that this level is going to get taken out, like I said, we used the PD array. We can see here that it's reacted off of some sort of imbalance maybe, or I don't really know what's reacted off here. It's the end of the day, doesn't fucking matter. Next day, obviously we've seen this level here. We've taken this buy down here to a invalid level. There's no valid level at all for it to react off of. That could have just been an unlucky break even, or depending on your targets, risk to reward wise. I know a lot of people do fixed risk to rewards. Could have very easily capitalized on this. But for me personally, I'd be looking for the next point of interest to actually take a trade from. So that would be this level here for me. Obviously, it didn't technically react off that. That could have been our next level here, but you'd have to refine it to that liquidity here. And you would have been shown another setup presented there, which you could have caught for almost 25 risk to reward. Again, absolutely lovely. I was explaining to the students a minute ago that the lower time frame for this was quite tricky due to the news that came out at 3 PM. So doubt I would have actually caught this myself because the news completely screwed up the entry itself. But either way, high time frame and entry protocol wise, it worked out completely to plan and completely to our strategy. So once again, this is our internal range here. This is our external range. Once we mitigate the highs, we know we're taking out the lows. So we've seen the retest in our internal range there, where we could have taken sales down to this external level here, which I also called out both these levels on the Friday here. So yeah, we've seen on Thursday, was it Thursday? Yeah, we've seen on Thursday a level not get hit yet, so we know that we're selling down here. I said in the student chat to beware of this level here, in a sense that I do not think we would need our PD array on a internal scale here for our trade, which I was right. We did not need a 50-minute point of interest above the PD array here for this trade before this level gets hit, as I knew it was just going to be a continuation trade. I knew it was going to be a continuation because we had now mitigated this high here, so then we know that this now becomes our protected high. And if this becomes our protected high now and it pushes down this low, realistically, if it pushes down this low and close to our point of interest, I don't think we would have some sort of sufficient retracement before pushing down. I believe that we were just going to trade off of any sort of valid point of interest before pushing down here. This is the trade I took, and that's the video I posted on my TikTok while I was skiing. Obviously, it hit my break even, completely fine. I literally did not use a valid zone at all. I only used quarterly theory for this entry itself, which again still worked absolutely amazing. It ran into quite a bit of profit first before reverse, and 7, 8, maybe even 9 RR, I don't even know. But on the quarterly sense, swept the high here, swept the quarterly first quarter high, so we know we're looking for sells. My entry model played out. Study these entries, you'll literally know similarities between all of them. You'll be able to get a grasp on your entries without even having to pay for the course. But yeah, I was not using valid zones for this. I was literally on a chairlift. Don't care. Did it for the TikTok. But if we're looking on a valid zone wise, here it is. Yeah, if we're looking valid zone wise, this was our first 50-minute point of interest, but as we knew, it was a continuation of the higher time frame structure to take out this low. We do not need this PD array at all. This would have been our first zone here, which obviously we can see was already mitigated during the night. So then the next zone that we would looking to take from is this imbalance right here, and we're going to include the order block for this moment as well. I'll give you guys this entry, as in I'll explain this entry from this day. However, if I was actually using zones on this day that I was trading, definitely would not have taken this. I would have taken this 100%. But as far as it comes to entries on this one, to put it simply, I'm not going to go into depth about my actual entry model, but every single entry model is essentially looking for the creation of for sales. Obviously, we're looking for a creation of lower lows to be created. So this is our previous low we're looking to get taken out. We've seen that low get taken out. We need liquidity, obviously, which has been built up here. However, we had no valid point of interest here at all. There's nothing valid within here, so we know we're looking for a sweep of the whole level. That was the entry model for this trade here. I'm not going to go into any more detail about it. I'm not going to talk about any other entry models. Just a bit of free source view. We had no valid point of interest, but we've seen the creation of lower lows below our previous lowest low. So if we see new lows get printed with no valid point of interest, with the liquidity built up, we're taking the high. It wicked it, did not close above, shot down to the level I called out a week ago on Friday. Yeah, absolutely lovely week. I think it came to a total over the past 3 weeks. Last week, personally, I was up about 31%. However, what I sometimes do is at the end of the week, I'll say to like students, we could have capitalized on this much percentage. It's not necessary that we would have caught of them. It's very unrealistic to say we would catch every single one of them. Maybe we would catch 1, 2, 3 a week max. Obviously not necessarily max. It depends on who you are and how risky you are as a person. But every single opportunity that aligned with my strategy during our London and potentially beginning of New York trading times, we could have capitalized. Last week 30%, the week beforehand we could have capitalized 78%, I think, and this week alone you could have capitalized 111%. Like I said, it's very, very unlikely that you actually would have caught all these trades. I'm not trying to sell you a dream here. It's very unrealistically you would have been able to do it, but strategy, entry model, higher time frame, like every single strategy concept that I implement, you could have gained over like 200 and something percent within the last 3 weeks. I say it's unrealistic. The max I've ever made myself, not in 3 weeks, but in like a month, in about 5 weeks, it was like 270%, which was my like best time trading ever. So it is very unrealistic to make these gains in 3 weeks. However, it is possible depending on who you are as a person. But yeah, the strategy played quite badly in January. I think everyone had a bad January, but since February it's been nothing but up since there. But yeah, anyone have any questions? Obviously, depending on the question, I might not go into depth with it, but I'm happy to answer any basic intermediate questions. So either type out in chat or you can unmute your mic and ask it yourself. I'll give it a couple minutes and then I'll unmute my mic and answer any of them. You can type as many questions as you guys want, and I'll come back in a minute and I'll go through and answer any of them. Yes, Nico, you can message me whenever. I'll probably be active for the next like couple hours, and then yeah, just message me whenever. I don't understand the protected highs. It's a protected high because it swept liquidity. This is all in the 1 hour, by the way. I literally only use the 1 hour for my higher time frame analysis. On the 1 hour, if it swept liquidity from a previous high, it breaks significant structure in any direction, and it includes a fair value gap, then that makes it a protected high or protected low. And you probably won't be able to go onto the market right now and instantly be able to see which one's protected or not. However, if you kind of add little bits of information over time, then it's a lot easier to be able to kind of notice this. In a sense, I mean that in a sense, as our previous range here that we've just been working on over the past week and week and 1 day, we noticed this range get created after our previous range low get taken out. So once you notice the current range and then you watch how the market kind of works around that range itself, then you realize how you're able to notice protected highs and protected lows, because you're basing it off of how the previous protected low and protected high gets taken, essentially. Last month was crazy in the mentorship. Yeah, come on. So you basically start your analysis on the 1 hour time frame. Yes, I use the 1 hour for my higher time frame analysis. I use the 15-minute for my point of interest. Occasionally the 5-minute for my point of interests, but mainly 15-minute itself. And then I use the 1 minute for my entries. Those protected highs you said were mitigated. How do you tell if the high is mitigated? Like, is it the order block on a lower time frame or what? Yes, it's the 15-minute order block just below the protected high. The like very, very, very top point of interest below our protected high in this case. If that gets mitigated, then we know that we've just printed a new protected high. Around the protected low was broken. Where's going to be a new 1 hour range? Oh frick it, I'll give you guys a little bit of source again. So once this protected low got broken, I was looking for a new range. Let me hide all this stuff real quick. So now that our protected low was not our protected low, now our IPL, our internally protected low, was taken out. The new range that I was looking at was from here to here. This is our new range because obviously this high swept all this liquidity here before breaking structure. It didn't include a fair value gap, so that's fine, doesn't matter. But that was my new range. Obviously we've seen the high of this get taken out at 3 PM due to news. So we've seen this high get invalidated. So this is my new range that I'm working with now. Not looking at this range anymore. Tomorrow morning, we'll most likely be looking for sells. Again, I'm not going to go into detail. I base my trades based on like what happens overnight. At this current time, I'm looking for sells in the morning, and I'll be looking sells down to this level here. That'll be my target for tomorrow. Obviously, this depends on what Asia session does itself, but this is my current target for tomorrow. It's not necessary that this target will hold, as I only catch the first London expansion. However, this is what I anticipate. I anticipate some sort of maybe break a structure to the downside on the 15-minute before. I anticipate something like this. I mean, we could see buys in the morning, but I'm looking to buy from this level or necessarily sell down to it. Depends on what Asia session tells me. God, guys, what's happening? I'm starting to stutter at the very end. But yeah, that's my new range that I'm looking for tomorrow. But yeah, how do you set up the quarterly theory twice? I see people put it on once, but you have it on twice. It's because it's for London session and New York session. I haven't put it on twice. It's one indicator, however, it's for London and New York session next to each other. Do you ever use full order blocks or only SCOB? I use full order blocks all the time. If you think about it, order blocks are single candle order blocks at the same time. The way I mark out my order blocks are single candle anyway, but I only use the term SCOB for our low resistance liquidity rate entries, which obviously that's in the student section. But that's the only time I refer to the SCOB. Do you use DXY for extra confirmation? No, I use Euro USD for extra confirmation, however not DXY, as I don't feel it's needed, because obviously GBP USD, Euro USD, and DXY all work in correlation. However, I just find it easy just to stick with Euro USD because it works for entries and high time frame. EU for S&T, I don't actually use it for S&T. I use it more for timing, in a sense that if GBP USD has not reached I'll use it the other way around. Say I'm looking for my trade on GBP USD, and it's in our point of interest we're looking to sell from. If EU is not in its point of interest to sell from as well, then I will not take that trade. So I use it more for timing wise when it comes to if I'm going to enter this trade, is EU aligning with that trade itself, or is it showing me something different? I use high time frame as well, comparing different ranges and comparing quarterly and seeing what if there's any contradictions of any type. But yeah. Alright, plenty enough of that. That's weird as shit. If this goes on YouTube and I'm banned because Plenty's posted this post was fact checked by true Mexican patriots, then that's unfortunate. Damn, can't wait for the mentorship when I got time. Depends when it opens, G, I'll be real. Because I've quite a few people in here at the moment. Obviously, I find it actually surprisingly easy to manage 30 plus people. But yeah, I don't know if I will open it anytime soon, but we shall see. We shall see. Might have a few temporary spots that are getting taken out in like a month or so, but we'll see. How'd you find the range and when does it change? Mate, just been through that all. Can't go into any more detail into that. However, obviously you can watch the recording over again because I'm recording this all, post onto YouTube. I get the private mentorship you forgot. Really? I may have forgotten. Let me check your messages after this. If I've said to you before that I've saved you a spot, then yeah, I got you. But if I haven't said that to you, then yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'll check DMs in a minute. But yeah, if no one has any other questions, thank you all for joining. Feel free to type or unmute your mic, ask any other questions really quickly before I end it. But if not, this will be the end of the call. Sweet, I'm gonna assume it's over. Let me stop recording.